Greetings, listeners. You're reading the Bible and you hit a word you don't know, or a place you never heard of, or a custom that feels a long way from your life. And you think, I can tell this is important, but I'm not sure what I'm supposed to see here. If that's ever been you, today is for you, because there are some simple tools that can help. Well, welcome everyone. I'm your host, Jackie Adewale, and this is the Bible Basics Podcast, where every 2 weeks we break down the basics of the Bible into understandable, bite-sized chunks. So far this season, we've talked about what the Bible is, how it's put together, and how to read it in context, among other topics. Today, we're getting practical. We're looking at the tools that help you understand what you're reading and studying. We'll start by discussing how to use those tools and then get into more specifics. We'll look at study Bibles, Bible dictionaries, commentaries, and finally digital tools, including apps many of us already have on our phones. Now, none of these replace the Bible, and none of them replace slow, prayerful reading. But they can help you notice what's already there. Think of them like a travel guide. If you visit a place you've never been, a good guide helps you see what you'd otherwise walk right past. The guide is not the destination. The place is still the point. Bible tools work the same way. Scripture is the main thing. The tools just help you pay closer attention. And here's why we sometimes need that help. The Bible was written in actual places, in everyday languages to ordinary people a long time ago. They lived differently than we do. They understood family, land, worship, and kings in ways that aren't obvious to us at first. Their language was different. So when we reach for a tool, we're usually asking simple things. What does this word mean? Where is this place? Who is this person? What was going on when this was written? Now, before any extra book or app, the first tool is what? The Bible itself. Often the clearest help is right there on the page. Read the verses around the one you're focused on, read the whole chapter. Notice when an idea like a temple or a shepherd or exile shows up somewhere else. That keeps Scripture in the center. Then the tools aid your reading and studying instead of taking over. One of the most helpful tools for a lot of people is the study Bible. A study Bible is a regular Bible with extra help built in. Short notes, book introductions, maps, and timelines. The Bible text is still the main part. The notes are just there to help you understand it. Here's an example. Before the book of Philippians, a study Bible might tell you that Paul wrote this letter from prison. That one detail opens the whole letter. Because when you read Paul talking about joy and peace and being content, you're not hearing it from someone whose life was easy. You're hearing it from someone trusting God in a hard place. The note didn't add anything to the Bible. It just helped you see what was already there. One gentle tip: try not to read the notes first. Read the passage, sit with it, notice what stands out. Then check the notes. That way you stay in the text yourself. Another good tool is a Bible dictionary. It does just what it sounds like. It gives you short explanations of the people, places, and customs you run into when reading the Bible. These dictionaries define words found in Scripture using accurate biblical meanings derived from the original languages, which regular dictionaries can't provide. Say you come across the word Passover. A Bible dictionary might remind you that Passover goes back to the night God rescued his people out of slavery in Egypt. Every year since then, they remembered that rescue and marked it with a shared meal and a lamb. So later, when the New Testament connects Jesus to Passover, you hear so much more in it. The dictionary gives you the background. The Bible gives you the story. You don't need to look up every word, and that turns reading into homework. But when a word keeps showing up or a passage won't make sense without it, a Bible dictionary is a good friend. Now, commentaries. A commentary is a book or an app where someone walks through a passage in more detail. A study Bible gives you a short note. A commentary goes further. It might explain the flow of a whole chapter or how one part connects to the rest of the Bible. Now, you might be thinking, isn't a commentary just someone's opinion about the Bible? That's a fair question, and here's the short answer. A commentary is not scripture. The Bible carries the authority. A commentary doesn't. But a good one isn't just somebody's personal opinion either. It's the work of someone who spent years studying that passage, looking at the history behind it, the languages it was first written in, and how it fits in with the rest of the Bible. They're trying to help you see what's already in the text. And you're never handing over your own reading. The Bible stays in front of you. If a commentary ever says more than the passage says, you can hold that part loosely and go back to the text to check. So, commentaries are helpful. They can also feel like a lot. Some are written for everyday readers. Some are written for scholars. So the goal isn't the longest one. It's the one that's clear enough for you to actually use. Here's a simple way to use one. Read the passage first, jot down what you notice and what you're wondering, then open the commentary. Now it's a conversation partner, not a substitute. You might think, oh, I missed that. Or, that's why this moment was such a big deal. A good commentary sends you back to the passage with clearer eyes. And it's okay not to understand all of it. Take what helps. Leave the rest for now. Bible study grows over time. Many of us read the Bible on a phone or a tablet now. We also listen to audio versions of the Bible. Well, those are just examples of some of the wonderful digital tools that are out there. There's the YouVersion Bible app. There's Bible Gateway, Blue Letter Bible, Olive Tree Bible software, and the one I personally use and love, Logos. Logos Bible software is a comprehensive digital library that brings a lot of resources together in one place. So I'm not pulling 5 books off the shelf to study one passage. It does have paid libraries, but there's also a free version to start with. So if you're curious, you don't have to spend anything to try it. I'll put links to several of these digital tools in the show notes so you can find them easily. Digital tools make the Bible more reachable, especially if your days are full, or if listening to an audio Bible helps you take it in better than reading. You can compare 2 translations side by side. You can search for every place a word like light shows up. There's one catch. It's easy to get lost down a rabbit hole. One tap leads to another, a notification pops up, and before long you're not reading anymore, you're just scrolling. So open the app with a purpose, read slowly, then come back to the passage. So how do all these fit together? Here's a simple rhythm you can keep. First, pray. Ask God for wisdom. James chapter 1 verse 5 says, if any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. Then read the passage. Read it again and notice the people, the places, and things that surprise you. Look at what's around it. Then, if you still need help, reach for a tool. And always come back to the passage. That last step is the one to hold on to. A tool has done its job when it sends you back to Scripture, seeing more clearly. Now, you might be wondering, do I really need all of this to understand the Bible? No, you don't. You don't need a shelf of books. You don't need expensive software. You don't need to know the original languages. You can begin with a readable Bible, a few quiet minutes, and a willing heart. God isn't hiding from ordinary readers. The heart of Scripture isn't locked away for experts only. He makes himself known, and he meets people who simply come to him. So the tools aren't a requirement. They're a gift for the journey. They can clear up confusion, fill in some background, and help you slow down. We pick them up with humility as helpers, and we keep the Bible at the center. So here are 2 questions to carry with you. When you read the Bible, where do you most often get stuck? Is it unfamiliar words? Is it the history behind it? Or knowing how a passage fits into the bigger story? And second, what's the one tool, just one, you could try next? Maybe a study Bible, maybe a dictionary, maybe an audio Bible for your commute. Next time, we'll slow down and look at how to study a single passage, not with a complicated method, but with a simple way to read one passage closely and really take it in. Until then, keep reading, keep seeking, and keep growing in your faith.